Hello, and welcome to my channel. In today's video lesson, we are going to solve the following one-variable equations. Then, we are going to check our answers using the substitution method. Are you ready? Let's get started. In this equation, we are going to solve for the missing variable x. And our equation states that 3x plus 17 is equal to a negative 16. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to move all of our numbers to the right side of the equation in order to isolate our variable. So we're going to move 17 by subtracting it from both sides. And on our left side, positive 17 minus 17, of course, gives us 0. And then we'll just bring down our 3x. And on the right side, we have negative 16 minus 17. That gives us a negative 33. Because when you combine like terms, negative plus a negative equals negative. So now we have 3x is equal to negative 33. Now we are going to solve for x, and we do that by dividing by the coefficient, which is 3. And we must do that to both sides, given this is an equation, and equations must remain balanced or equal. So back to the left side, we have 3 divided by 3. That gives us 1, or we can simply say x, because our coefficient, which is the number preceding x, that's understood to be 1. And on our right side, when we divide negative 33 divided by 3 gives us negative 11, because a negative divided by a positive gives us a negative. So right now we have for our answer, we have x is equal to negative 11. Now we are going to check our answer using the substitution method. And we do that by taking our initial equation, 3x plus 17 is equal to negative 16, and we plug in the value that we received for x, which is negative 11. So we're going to write 3 times negative 11 plus 17 is equal to negative 16. Now we're going to evaluate this equation. 3 times a negative 11 will give us negative 33 plus 17 is equal to negative 16. Now, when you have a negative and you're adding a positive, you take the difference. So the difference of 33 and 17 is 16. So our answer will take the sign of the larger number. So since 33 is larger than 17, and 33 is carrying a negative sign, our answer is going to be negative. So we have negative 16 is equal to negative 16, and that is correct. So therefore, our answer, x is equal to negative 11, is correct. Now we're going to move on to our next equation. We're going to solve for c. And the equation is negative 2/9 c plus 12 is equal to negative 8. Once again, in this equation, we are going to move our numbers to the right side of the equation, and we'll do that by subtracting 12 from both sides. 12 cancels out on our left side, and we're left with negative 2/9 c is equal to, and on our right side, when we combine negative 8 and negative 12, we get negative 20. So now we're going to solve for c, but first we need to get rid of our coefficient, and we do that by multiplying the coefficient, which is negative 2/9. We multiply that by its inverse, which is negative 9/2. Okay? Now once again, we must keep our equation balanced, so we're going to multiply the right side of our equation by a negative 9/2 as well. Okay, so when we multiply negative 9/2 times a negative 2/9, we see our coefficient becomes 1. So we bring down our variable c, and when we multiply negative 20 times negative 9/2, I'm going to give this 20 a denominator of 1. So negative 20 divided by 1 is still negative 20. We didn't change the value, we just made it a fraction. And what we're going to do is we're going to reduce. You see 2 goes into 2 one time, and 2 goes into 20 10 times. And now we can multiply our numerators. 10 times 9 is 90. Now that's a negative 10 and a negative 9, so a negative times a negative is positive. So for our answer, we have c is equal to 90. Now we're getting ready to check our answer. To check our answer, we are going to plug in our value for c, which is 90. We're going to plug that into our original equation. So now we have negative 2/9. Instead of c, we're going to write 90 plus 12 is equal to negative 8. Okay, so now we can multiply negative 2/9 times 90. 9 goes into 9 one time, and 9 goes into 90 10 times. We're simply reducing our numerators and our denominators to make it easier to multiply. So now we have a negative 2 times 10, and that will give us negative 20 plus 12 is equal to negative 8. So now let's combine our terms here. Negative 20 plus 12, since we have unlike signs, unlike meaning different signs, a negative and a positive, we take the difference. So the difference of 20 and 12 means we subtract the numbers. So 20 minus 12 gives us 8. However, our answer, we carry the sign of the larger number. Since 20 is larger than 12, and our 20 here is negative, our answer is going to be negative. And negative 8 does equal negative 8. So once again, our equation checks out, and our answer for C is 90. Okay, now let's move on to our final equation. We are going to solve for G in this equation. 4 over 7G minus 26 is equal to 18. First, we're going to start by moving our numbers to the right side of the equation. And here we're going to add 26 to both sides. And we're adding 26 in order to remove it from our left side. A negative 26 plus 26 is 0. And we're going to bring down our variable 4/7 G is equal to, now we're going to add 26 to 18. So 8 and 6 is 14. 1 and 1 is 2 plus 2 is 4. So now we have 4/7 G is equal to 44. In order to solve for G, we need to multiply it by we need to multiply the coefficient by its reciprocal. Well, the coefficient is 4/7, and the reciprocal of 4/7 is 7 over 4. And another way to say reciprocal is the inverse. So now we have 7/4 times 4/7 G is equal to 44 times, and we're going to multiply that by 7/4 as well, because we must keep our equation balanced. So when we reduce our fractions here, we are left with G on the left side is equal to, and on our right side, when we reduce our fractions, we have 11 times 7 is equal to 77. So now we have G is equal to 77. Now we're going to check our answer. And we're going to check our answer by plugging in the value of G into our original equation. So G is 77. So we have 4/7 times 77 minus 26 is equal to 18. When we reduce our fraction. 7 goes into 7 one time. It goes into 77 11 times. So now we have 4 times 11. That's 44 minus 26 is equal to 18. So when we do the math here, 44 minus 26 is equal to 18, and 18 equals 18. So yes, our equation is balanced and G is equal to 77. So now we are done. Thank you so much for tuning in for today's video tutorial. It has been my pleasure sharing how to solve one variable math equations with you. If you enjoyed what you saw, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel and lets me know what content you want to see more of. And if you haven't already done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We have so much more exciting content coming your way, and I'd love to have you be a part of it. Also, if you think someone else would enjoy this video, be sure to share it with your friends, family, or anyone who might find it interesting. Alright, that's a wrap for today. Thanks for being an awesome viewer. Until next time, take care.